I'm going to go ahead with the meeting beginning ritual now. 起立，面向佛堂，参加先鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，三鞠躬，参加各位的传习鞠躬，开班一鞠躬，请坐下。Please be seated.
So the question takes various forms and is usually revolves around the correct way to say the word Tao. And you will hear me say it with a D sound always. That's the way it sounds in Mandarin. It's the way that I have always said it. And in fact, it's the correct way to say it in English, even though the English word Tao spelled with a T. So many people would just say, Tao. I believe in the Tao. So that's actually the incorrect way to say it. That's never been the correct way to say it, except through misinformation and people not knowing the ins and outs of Romanization system. So for people who are curious as to how it got to be that way, I have an entire article devoted to that you can easily take a look at yourself. So if you don't want to copy down the web address that I have up in the slide, I can show you how to navigate to that answer easily. And I'll do that by bringing back the web browser to demonstrate how we can get to it. So at the Taoism.net website, you can simply type Taoism.net and it will bring you here. You can type Taoism.net/Tao and it will take you to the new site. So you'll see the topmost link here, new website, Taoism.net/Tao. So you can either click on this link or you can type it in here. Either way, it'll do the same thing. This will take us there. Or clicking on this link will do the exact same thing. Once you are here, you will see that all the new material, the new contents will all be published on the new website. At some point, the landing website here will be changed to have the same style as what we see here, and will be greatly simplified to just have a few links, maybe the most common links for people to get to the resource that they need. So there's quite a bit of stuff, and you can see that this goes on and on. They are divided into different sections. So some of these are Q&A. So if you take a look at this menu heading, Tao Info, there's Tao Q&A here. Everything that is questions and answers will be categorized in this fashion. So all the entries have a question and answer format. They all start with question, and then they continue on with my answer to that question. So they all kind of look like this. And then it goes on and on. Again, for those who may be interested. And there's a search bar over here. So if there's a particular topic of interest, here I have moderation. It'll show you the ones that are matching. And I find that the search capability is pretty good. So, when I typed in yin and yang just now, it shows you the search results for that. It'll talk about for instance, women in the Tao. Women are actually very powerful in the Tao, more powerful, in fact, than the men are. And so everything that references yin and yang, you will see show up as the search results. If you go to home, If you click on home, you see the latest entries. And if you click on original.taoism.net, it'll take you back to the old site, the old website. And as I said, all the new content that will publish on the new website, on the new design. This is all WordPress, and it has a bunch of advantages. So one of the resources that people will probably be interested in is under the Daojing heading, online translation. So this is something that I did earlier this month. It actually took maybe about a year of continuous work to put it together. We already had online translation previously, but it just wasn't done to my satisfaction. What happened was that the text that was shown had to be a rather crude font, and I just wanted to see it in a way that's more formal and that's better looking. So I have learned, I have advanced more in my knowledge of web publishing, and I found that it's possible to get very good looking Chinese text even on systems that don't have Chinese installed at all. This will still show up just by using PDF. And if this is too small, you can click on this button to zoom in. So we'll give that a moment to come up so you can see for yourself. I probably don't have the world's fastest internet connection here, and this is because we're sharing that link at the same time as we are using GoToMeeting. So I had to refresh there just to have it come up. It should come up a lot faster for you at home. For now, I'll just go back to the website. So the idea with the online translation is that when I published my translation in book form years ago, what I really wanted was something like this, with Chinese and English side by side. So anyone who has knowledge of both Chinese and English can see exactly the matching lines and can even isolate one particular line from the English with one line from the Chinese, and then match up the translation to sort of zoom in on it. This was important for me because I was aware that other translators do things differently, so that some of them will inject a lot of material on the English side, so you end up with many more lines on the English than you have in the original Chinese. And some will skip over lines that they don't really understand. Our current chapter is one example. So with the English and Chinese side by side, that's not really possible. They have to match. The number of lines have to match, and the meaning has to match. Ideally, each character maps to a word or a phrase in the English, and everything on the English side can be mapped back to something in the original. That's how you get a very accurate and authentic translation. So I want that to be a resource. The Dao De Jing translation, it's called Dao De Jing Annotated and Explained. That has been bought by a larger publishing firm called Turner Publishing. So they certainly have their own corporate policies. So in deference to them, I've turned off the downloading option for the PDF. I personally feel like I want to share this information for everyone, to everyone for free, but I respect the position of the publisher, and therefore I will refrain from offering the download. Okay, so that's Taoism.net. Hopefully, you will be able to find information here. Should you ever need to get information on this particular meeting, you'll find everything here. The schedule, how to connect online, I started doing some pages on recordings, and this has to be revamped. And then if you are in Southern California and you can attend the meeting in person, there's information here that can help you do that. These are the books that I have published. At the bottom, there's a link that talks about providing free books for prisoners, and so on. So this is still a work in progress. There's still a huge amount of work that has to be done. I am working as fast as I can. Any chance that I get to work on this website, I try to push it just a little bit further. I can definitely use your support. If you feel that this information is helpful, if you feel my books are helpful, please let people know, please let other people know, share that information, share the website, link to the website. If you see something that you like, no matter what that is, let's just say that you look at today's answer, the question that we're talking about today, and you feel that it is helpful information, then you can easily copy and paste that link somewhere else, or you can indicate that you like it, and you can share it via Facebook or Twitter. All of that is very, very helpful. All of that are ways, are things that I can really use to help me do the work of the Tao. Okay, so let me make that go away. Okay, so the short answer is that the correct way to say Tao is with a D sound, Tao, and I have people who will push back on that. So they say a couple of different things. First, they'll say that, well, I've read this book, and the book says that the actual sound in Chinese is between T and D, and R to T, that's why it's spelled T-A-O. And then I also have other people who say, well, listen, I've got Chinese friends, you're not the only one who knows how to speak Chinese, and they all say it. They all say Tao. They don't say Tao. So for the pushback, I have the following answer for everyone. So first of all, in Mandarin, there's no such thing as a sound that's in between T and D. It's not there. It doesn't exist. So that particular book that makes the assertion is written by someone who doesn't know any Mandarin or indeed any dialect of Chinese whatsoever. That author was just making a guess, and that author was writing it in such a way as to make it sound plausible, authoritative, and reasonable, but it's wrong. So, and what about Chinese people who say Tao and not Tao? Well, I encounter that actually quite a bit, and I would divide them up into two categories. There are Asian Americans who live in this society. They feel a very powerful pull to conform to mainstream society, so they will imitate absolutely everything. Good habits, bad habits, good things, bad things, the right way to do things, mistakes, they will ape everything. So when they hear mainstream society say Tao, they will follow that mistake faithfully. They are still wrong. And Chinese people who say Tao, well, oftentimes they hear that from white people, and therefore they think that must be the way to do it. They are not aware that the mistakes that white people make in regards to English, there are quite a few, and they are basically copying a mistake just like the Asian Americans. So, sorry, still wrong. So, no matter how you slice it, the correct way to say it is still Tao. I know that in dictionaries, in many dictionaries, it'll provide both pronunciations as being the correct one. That is because in the course of time, mistakes become legitimized. So, give you some additional examples. In the article that I showed you just a moment ago from Taoism.net, it talks about not just the T sound and the D sound, but also B and P, G and K, CH and J. So all of those are aspects of Romanization system that represent English sounds with Latin alphabets. So we say tofu with a T sound. If you were to say it in Chinese, it's doufu with a D sound. We say kung fu in English. In Chinese, it's gong fu with a G sound. So when you visit Taiwan, go to Taipei, you say Taipei, well, it's actually Taipei with the B sound. In a Chinese restaurant, you may order Kung Pao chicken. You say Kung Pao with a K and the P. Well, in Chinese, Gong Bao Ji Ding, Gong Bao with a G sound and the B sound. So there are numerous problems with the older Romanization system causing many mistakes. Tao is just one of them. So we have the opportunity to do things right. And I hope that you will take this opportunity and be the one to always do it right, regardless of what other people are doing. And you have a way with that webpage to explain why your way is the correct way.
Let's go ahead and do the meeting ending ritual, everybody. 起立，面向佛堂，持架三鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，三鞠躬，持架规格是一鞠躬，接班一鞠躬。Okay, everybody, we are done.
Participate in the Tao meeting by joining us online. For information, go to Taoism.net/Tao